Let me tell you something, my friend. The greatest threat to your future is not failure. It's not even laziness. It's comfort, because comfort is the silent killer of greatness. You see, discipline is not about motivation. Discipline is not about feeling good. Discipline is about becoming dangerous to the ordinary. I'm talking about the kind of discipline that scares people. The kind that makes others whisper your name, not because you're perfect, but because you're consistent. We live in a generation addicted to instant results. Everybody wants the crown, but nobody wants the crucifixion. Everybody wants success, but nobody wants silence. But let me tell you, there's a level of discipline that turns ordinary men into unstoppable forces. That's the level I came to talk about. The scariest level of discipline you've ever seen. Discipline is the death of distraction. You cannot build greatness while entertaining everything that knocks on your door. Every call, every notification, every conversation. They are all tiny thieves stealing moments that belong to your destiny. The reason most people never become who they are meant to be is not because they lack potential. It's because they keep answering every distraction that calls their name. You have to understand something. Focus is expensive. The moment you decide to become disciplined, you declare war against every lazy thought and every wasted minute. When you are truly disciplined, your time becomes sacred. You begin to look at every hour like currency, something you can never get back once it's spent. Think about it. You can recover money, you can rebuild reputation, but you can never recover time. That's why discipline feels like dying, because it kills the easy things first. People who live without discipline are constantly busy, but never effective. They are always doing something, but rarely doing what matters. The disciplined person doesn't do more. They do less, but with purpose. Imagine two men digging for gold. One keeps switching spots every 5 minutes because he thinks the gold is somewhere else. The other digs in one place day after day, inch by inch, sweat dripping into the earth. Guess who finds the treasure? Not the one who moved the most dirt, but the one who refused to move. That's what discipline looks like. It's not glamorous. It's not dramatic. It's quiet persistence that looks boring to everyone else. People will say, "You're obsessed." They'll say, "You're too serious." They don't understand. They haven't seen what you've seen. You've tasted your potential. And once you do, you can't go back to average. When you are disciplined, distractions start to die around you. The wrong people lose access to you. The gossip stops coming your way because you no longer feed it. You stop scrolling for validation and start working for transformation. You stop chasing attention and start chasing alignment. Discipline cleanses your environment. It purifies your circle. Let me give you a picture. Imagine a student preparing for medical school. While everyone else is out partying, they're in the library. Not because they hate fun, but because they've decided that purpose must come before pleasure. It's 2 a.m., the world is asleep, and they're still turning pages under that dim yellow light. That's not punishment, that's investment. The world might call it obsession, but destiny calls it preparation. Every dream demands a price, and discipline is the currency. You cannot reach your promise while negotiating with your distractions. You cannot walk into the next level of your life while holding hands with comfort. You have to choose comfort or calling. You can't have both. Look at an athlete preparing for the Olympics. Do you think they enjoy waking up before sunrise? Do you think they feel motivated every day? No. But they show up anyway. They run when their legs ache. They train when their body screams for rest. They deny the small pleasures today to taste the greater victory tomorrow. That is the death of distraction. When your purpose becomes louder than your feelings, your distractions lose their power. Discipline teaches you something the world will never teach. That freedom doesn't come from doing whatever you want. It comes from mastering yourself. The person who can't say no to distraction will always be a slave to it. The person who can say, "Not now, I have work to do," becomes unstoppable. Even in small things, discipline transforms your life. It's the decision to wake up when your alarm goes off instead of hitting snooze. It's saying, I'll read 10 pages today, and actually doing it. It's turning your phone off while you work. These little acts of control are not random. They are training your mind to obey your mission. Because if you can't control small distractions, how will you handle the big ones that come with success? Success doesn't destroy people. Distraction does. You can have the talent, the connections, and the opportunities, but if you're distracted, it all slips away. Some people lose their focus the moment they get a little recognition. They stop growing because they start scrolling. They stop learning because they start showing off. Discipline keeps your feet on the ground when your name starts to rise. Think about an airplane. Before takeoff, everything shakes. The engine screams, the cabin rattles, and the pressure builds. But once it leaves the ground and breaks through the clouds, silence. That's what focus feels like. The noise only lasts until you reach altitude, but most people never reach that level because they quit during the noise. Discipline is what keeps you steady until you break through. You see, distraction doesn't always come as evil. Sometimes it comes dressed as opportunity. That's why disciplined people seem cold, because they say no to almost everything. They know not every open door leads to destiny. Every yes has a price, and every no protects your purpose. So when your phone buzzes, your friends call, your comfort tempts, and your mind says, take it easy, remember, greatness hides behind the door of discipline. Every time you choose focus, you kill a distraction. Every time you say, not now, you train your future to obey you. Discipline is not about control, it's about clarity. It helps you see what truly matters and gives you the courage to ignore what doesn't. Because once you decide to live with purpose, distractions are no longer small, they are deadly. Every minute wasted is a piece of your destiny stolen in silence. You don't need 100 goals. You need one purpose, protected by ruthless discipline. When you live like that, your time becomes holy, your focus becomes fierce, your distractions lose oxygen. And that, my friend, is when you finally start to feel alive, because the moment distraction dies, destiny begins to breathe. Discipline is doing what's right when no one sees you. That's the kind of discipline that separates the real from the pretenders, the destined from the distracted. Anybody can look strong in the spotlight, but character is built in the dark. In those quiet, hidden hours when no one's clapping, no one's watching, and no one's saying, good job. That's when your real strength is tested. It's what you do when the lights go off that determines what happens when they come back on. You see, the world loves to celebrate performance. It cheers for results, trophies, numbers, and followers. But heaven looks for consistency. The unseen work, the silent grind, the decisions no one knows about. That's where greatness is born. When you choose to do what's right, even when there's no applause, you are shaping a version of yourself that can be trusted with power. Because what's hidden in private will always be revealed in public. You cannot fake discipline forever. Eventually, who you are behind closed doors will show up when the pressure hits. Think about it. The person who wakes up before dawn to pray, to study, to train, to learn, no audience, no reward, no recognition. But over time, something begins to change. Their voice becomes steady. Their mind becomes sharper. Their spirit becomes unshakable. And when the opportunity finally comes, they don't have to prepare. They're already ready. That's the power of unseen discipline. It's not loud, but it's lethal. It's not glamorous, but it's glorious. Look at the athlete who trains long after the stadium lights go out. Nobody films that part. Nobody uploads it to social media. It's just sweat, silence, and self-control. Yet that unseen moment is the reason they win when the cameras roll. People see the medal, but they don't see the mornings when the body screamed. Stop. They don't see the sacrifices, the skipped parties, the lonely dinners, the repetition that felt endless. That's discipline when no one sees. Or think about the students studying in their room while their friends are out laughing in the street. They're not doing it for applause. They're doing it because they know purpose comes before pleasure. That kind of discipline looks boring to everyone else. But one day, when they stand on the stage with their degree, with a future that others only dream about, that's when the quiet nights make sense. Doing what's right when no one sees is the truest form of integrity. It's easy to act kind when the camera is recording. It's easy to be humble when everyone's watching. But who are you when nobody's around? When no one can give you credit, no one will notice, and no one will clap? That's the battlefield where true discipline is forged, even in small things. Telling the truth when lying would make life easier. Working with excellence when your boss isn't there. Staying faithful to your goals when nobody checks on you. These are not small decisions. They are silent revolutions. Each one builds a wall of strength inside you that the world cannot break. People often say, "I'll start when I have motivation." No, you start when you have discipline. Motivation is a spark, discipline is the fire that never goes out. When you're alone, tired, unseen, and you still choose to do what's right, that's when your inner foundation becomes unshakable. Think of a musician practicing scales at midnight. No audience, no applause. Just fingers, strings, and silence. Day after day, repetition after repetition. Most people would quit because there's no instant reward. But when the spotlight hits years later, and that same musician plays with power and grace, everyone gasps. How did they do that? The answer is simple. They did the right thing when no one saw. It's like a seed planted underground. You can't see it grow, but something is happening in the dark. It's developing roots, strength, and foundation. Then one day it breaks through the soil, strong, tall, unshakable. Everyone notices the tree, but nobody remembers the darkness it grew through. Discipline is the same way. You grow in secret before you shine in public. Most people fail not because they lack talent, but because they refuse to be faithful when no one's watching. They want results without repetition, success without secrecy, applause without authenticity. But every master, every champion, every leader you admire, they were once invisible. They practiced in empty rooms. They studied while the world slept. They prepared while others procrastinated. That's the scariest level of discipline, the kind that doesn't need validation to keep going. When you do what's right, when no one sees, you build trust with yourself. You start to believe your own words again. That's where confidence comes from, not from pretending, but from proving to yourself, "I can count on me." That's a quiet kind of power. A man or woman who can trust their own discipline cannot be manipulated by pressure or opinion. They've already faced the silence. They've already won the inner war. So in your job, in your studies, in your relationships, remember the true test is not what you do when they're watching. It's what you do when they're not. When the room is empty, when the applause has faded, when it's just you and the choice. That's where champions are made. There will be moments when no one appreciates your effort, when no one notices your growth, when no one says, "Thank you," but keep doing right. Keep showing up, keep being excellent, because unseen discipline always leads to seen elevation. It's a law of life. Every time you choose honesty over convenience, consistency over comfort, purpose over pleasure, you carve another piece of greatness into your character. You might not feel it now, but one day the results will scream louder than any praise you ever received. Doing what's right when no one sees is not easy. It's sacred. It's the difference between people who need to be pushed and people who cannot be stopped. It's where ordinary ends and extraordinary begins. It's the hidden place where destiny starts its work. Discipline is the bridge between vision and reality. You can dream all you want, talk all you want, visualize all you want, but without discipline, it will all remain in your imagination. Vision is powerful, yes. It gives you direction, it gives you purpose, it gives you a reason to wake up in the morning. But discipline is what gives that vision legs to walk. Without it, you'll be a dreamer forever. You'll live in a world of all one day, while disciplined people turn your dreams into their results. Everyone has a vision. Everyone says, I want to be successful. I want to build something great. I want to change my life. But wanting something and working for it are two different worlds. Vision inspires you. Discipline transforms you. Discipline is the invisible bridge that connects what you see in your mind to what you hold in your hand. And that bridge must be built one choice at a time, one habit at a time, one sacrifice at a time. The problem is, most people don't fail because their dream is too big. They fail because their habits are too small. They think the dream will carry them, but it won't. The dream shows you where to go, but discipline takes you there. Think about a builder standing in front of an empty plot of land with a blueprint in his hands. The blueprint is the vision. It shows the final picture, the grand design. But that paper alone won't make walls rise. Without the daily work of laying brick upon brick, mixing cement, and sweating under the sun, that blueprint is nothing more than ink. Discipline is the sweat behind the success. It's waking up early when your bed feels like heaven. It's saying no to distractions that promise pleasure but steal progress. It's doing the hard, boring, repetitive things that no one celebrates, yet everyone eventually admires the result of. Look at any successful person you admire. Look deep behind the spotlight, and you'll find the same ingredient: discipline. The artist who paints masterpiece after masterpiece, the entrepreneur who builds empires, the athlete who dominates the field, they all had a vision, but it was discipline that turned that vision into flesh and blood. Think about it this way: vision is your destination, discipline is your vehicle. You can have the most beautiful destination in your mind, but if you never start the engine, you're going nowhere. You can sit in that car all day, talk about how great the view will be, imagine the feeling of arriving there, but until you press the pedal of discipline, it's all fantasy. Discipline is not about perfection. It's about persistence. It's about showing up, even when you don't feel like it. It's about writing one more page when your mind says, you're done, doing one more push-up when your muscles scream no, studying one more hour when your friends are already sleeping. Discipline is not emotional, it's intentional. It doesn't wait for motivation. It moves without it. Motivation gets you started, discipline keeps you going. Motivation is a spark. Discipline is the fire that burns through the night. Let me give you an example. Imagine a man who dreams of running a marathon. He can see it in his head. The medal, the finish line, the crowd cheering. That's his vision. But when the alarm rings at 5 a.m. and it's raining outside, discipline is the only thing that gets him out of bed. The first few days he feels strong, but soon his legs ache, his lungs burn, and his body begs to quit. Yet every step, every mile, every drop of sweat is a brick laid on the bridge between vision and reality. On race day, when he finally crosses that finish line, people will call him lucky, but they didn't see the lonely mornings, the aching muscles, the silent pain that discipline demanded. Discipline is the builder of reality. It turns invisible effort into visible success. Every routine, every schedule, every boundary you set for yourself is a brick in that bridge. You can't pray for progress while living undisciplined. You can't expect growth while giving your time to distractions. Vision says, one day I'll get there. Discipline says, today I'll take a step. And sometimes that step doesn't feel like much. You don't see results. You don't feel inspired. You question if it's even worth it. But the secret is, discipline is a slow miracle. It doesn't shout, it doesn't show off. It builds quietly day after day until suddenly everyone calls it overnight success. There's no overnight success, only daily discipline, unseen by the world but rewarded by destiny. Look at the farmer who plants seeds in the soil. He doesn't go back every hour to dig them up and check if they're growing. He knows that growth takes time. So he waters, he waits, and he works. Discipline is the same. It's planting consistency even when you don't see progress yet. It's trusting that every small effort matters. The truth is, most people get stuck halfway across the bridge. They start strong but stop when it gets uncomfortable. The disciplined keep walking. They know pain is part of the passage. Every struggle, Every temptation, every moment of doubt is a test to see how badly you want your dream. Vision whispers, it's possible. Discipline answers, I'll make it real. It's easy to say you want to change your life. It's harder to wake up early, work late, and stay committed when no one claps. But every sacrifice, every moment of control, every act of consistency adds another plank to your bridge. You don't build it in one day, you build it every day. Vision without discipline is fantasy. Discipline without vision is directionless. But when the two meet, when your dream meets your daily decisions, you become unstoppable. You start to notice that things begin to align. Opportunities open. People take notice. Momentum builds. And one day you wake up and realize you're standing in the reality of what once lived only in your imagination. That's the power of discipline. It's the silent bridge between who you are and who you're meant to be. Discipline transforms pain into power. The difference between people who quit and people who conquer is not that one feels pain and the other doesn't. It's that one sees pain as punishment while the other sees it as preparation. Every great person you admire has one thing in common. They didn't run from pain, they trained in it. Pain became their gym, their teacher, their proving ground. When everyone else complained, they learned. When others said, "Hoot hurts too much," they whispered, "This is how I grow." The truth is, pain is not your enemy. It's the greatest sculptor of strength the universe ever made. Without pain, you'd never grow muscle, you'd never develop patience, and you'd never discover how much power you truly carry inside. Every seed must break before it blooms, every diamond is born in pressure, every sword is forged in fire. You cannot be strong without struggle. You cannot be wise without wounds. The people who shine the brightest are the ones who were willing to burn through the hardest seasons without giving up. Think about it. Every time you face something painful, you're standing at a crossroads. One road is comfort, the other is growth. One says, "Take it easy. You deserve a break." The other says, "Push through, you're almost there." Most people choose comfort, and that's why they stay average. But the ones who choose growth, they find something different waiting for them on the other side. They find power, they find peace, they find a version of themselves they didn't know existed. Pain reveals who you are. When life hits you hard, your excuses crumble, and your true strength shows up. Anyone can smile when things are easy, but when your plans collapse, when your body aches, when your heart breaks, and you still show up, that's power. That's discipline. That's the kind of strength that terrifies weakness. Imagine someone training for a boxing match. The workouts are brutal, their body hurts, and the temptation to quit is constant. But every punch they throw, every round they survive, is rewiring their mind to handle pain differently. It's not about avoiding discomfort anymore, it's about mastering it. By the time they step into the ring, they've already won the hardest battle, the battle within. Because once you learn to be comfortable in pain, the world loses its power to stop you. Pain is energy, and discipline decides how you use it. Some people waste pain. They let it break them, they complain, they hide, they numb themselves. Others convert pain. They use it as fuel. They let heartbreak become focus, rejection become redirection, failure become fire. Discipline doesn't remove the pain, it teaches you to repurpose it. When life throws bricks at you, discipline teaches you to build something with them. Even in daily life, look around. The student who studies all night for an exam while their friends sleep, they feel pain too. Their eyes burn, their mind aches, but they keep going. The entrepreneur who works while everyone else relaxes, they face exhaustion, fear, and doubt, but they push through. The single mother who works 2 jobs to build a better life for her kids, she feels pain every day, but discipline turns that pain into purpose. Pain will visit you no matter what. You can't escape it. But discipline gives you the power to choose your pain, the pain of effort or the pain of regret, the pain of sacrifice or the pain of surrender. You can suffer now and grow later, or avoid discomfort now and suffer forever. Discipline chooses the first. Discipline says, I'll take the pain now, so I don't have to live small later. There's something sacred about people who endure. They don't seek pity, they seek progress. They look at the storm and say, hit me harder, I'm not moving. They understand that pressure doesn't destroy diamonds, it defines them. Every time life tests you, it's trying to see if you're ready for the next level. If you can stay calm in chaos, if you can keep faith when it hurts, if you can work when no one claps, then you're turning pain into power. Pain also reveals your priorities. It shows you what truly matters. When things hurt, you stop chasing what's meaningless. You stop entertaining people who waste your time. You focus. That's why pain is often the birthplace of clarity. Discipline teaches you to thank pain, not fear it, because pain introduces you to the parts of yourself that comfort keeps hidden. When a bodybuilder lifts heavy weights, the muscle tears. That tear hurts, but the body repairs it stronger than before. That's life. Discipline tells you, yes, it hurts now, but this hurt is holy. It's building something you can't see yet. Every time you push through the burn, you're expanding your capacity. You're proving to yourself that you can handle more than you thought. That's why disciplined people are dangerous. They've made peace with pain. And here's the truth. Pain never leaves empty-handed. It always leaves something behind: wisdom, resilience, confidence. The more you endure, the more power you carry. The same fire that destroys wax strengthens steel. What breaks others builds you when you're disciplined. That's the beauty of transformation. Discipline turns what was meant to destroy you into the very thing that defines you. Even emotionally, discipline transforms pain. The heartbreak that once made you bitter becomes empathy that allows you to lead others. The failures that humiliated you become lessons that sharpen your judgment. The loneliness that once crushed you becomes the silence where your creativity grows. Pain doesn't change you automatically. Discipline decides how it changes you. You have to make a decision. Either let pain control you or let discipline channel it. The moment you stop fighting pain and start learning from it, everything shifts. The tears, the disappointments, the sleepless nights, they stop being signs of weakness and become evidence of evolution. Every scar becomes a story of victory. Every wound becomes wisdom in disguise. So, when life starts to hurt, don't ask, why me? Ask, what is this trying to make me? That's how discipline thinks. That's how power is born. The truth is, discipline isn't just a habit. It's a language of greatness. It's the voice inside you that whispers, keep going when the world screams. Give up. It's the quiet rebellion against mediocrity, the relentless commitment to purpose, even when no one believes you, claps for you, or understands you. Discipline is not glamorous, it's not easy, and it's not popular, but it's the single most powerful force that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. Every person you admire, every legend, every leader, every world changer stood where you stand now. They felt tired, they felt scared, they felt like quitting. But they did one thing differently. They kept moving forward. They understood that the pain of discipline is temporary, but the pain of regret lasts a lifetime. They learned that while motivation gets you started, discipline keeps you alive. Some days, the fight is silent. You'll wake up tired, overwhelmed, unnoticed. You'll question why you're even doing it. But remember this, your consistency is compounding. Every small act of effort is a seed, and one day the world will see what you've been watering in private. So don't you dare stop. Don't you dare let laziness lie to you. Don't you dare let fear tell you you're not enough. Because the truth is, no one is coming to save you. Not luck, not talent, not timing. The only thing that will rescue your dream is your daily discipline. It's not the storms that break people, it's the softness of their preparation. If you stay disciplined when others drift, when others quit, when others make excuses, you'll stand tall when they collapse. There's a fire inside you that's waiting to burn. But that fire needs fuel, and that fuel is your discipline. Every no to temptation is a spark. Every early morning, every late night, every moment of focus adds flame to your purpose. You have no idea how powerful you become when you refuse to quit. Let the world underestimate you. That's fine. Let them laugh at your discipline. Let them call you obsessed, boring, too serious. Because one day they'll ask you how you did it. They'll see the results, the transformation, the peace, the strength. And they'll realize what you knew all along. Discipline is the ultimate freedom. It's not a prison, it's a passport. It doesn't restrict you. It releases you from the chaos of inconsistency. The ones who win in life aren't the most gifted. They're the most disciplined. They're the ones who worked when it wasn't fun. They're the ones who didn't need applause to stay committed. They're the ones who fell 7 times and still got up 8. They're the ones who looked pain in the eye and said, "You will not define me, I will define you." Because discipline does something magical. It makes you unstoppable. Once you've trained yourself to act without waiting for permission, no storm can shake you, no failure can break you, no delay can stop you. You become like fire, dangerous, focused, alive. Think about the eagle. It flies alone. It doesn't waste energy flapping with the pigeons. It soars above the storm while others hide from it. That's what discipline does. It takes you higher. It teaches you to be patient, to trust the process, to know that your consistency will carry you further than your emotions ever could. When the pain hits, when the distractions scream, when your body says, "I can't," let your spirit roar back, "Watch me." Because the moment you push past that point, that exact second when you refuse to quit, that's when your power is born. Every master was once a beginner who didn't stop. Every legend was once a dreamer who decided that discipline would be their weapon. The world doesn't remember people who almost made it. It remembers those who stayed when others left, who believed when others doubted, who worked when others rested, the ones who dared to be consistent long after the excitement faded. So if you're tired, keep going. If it hurts, keep going. If no one believes in you, keep going. Because discipline will take you where motivation cannot. You'll wake up one day and realize you became the person you were praying to become. Not because you were lucky, not because you were gifted, but because you were relentless. Discipline is destiny in motion. It is the quiet thunder that shakes the world without noise. The storms will come, the pain will come, the doubt will come. But when discipline stands tall, nothing can stop you. Remember this, the greatest victory is not winning against others. It's winning against the version of you that wanted to quit. So rise again, focus again, commit again, and let your discipline speak for you in places where your words never reached, because in the end, the disciplined don't chase success, they become it.